Hi, welcome to Chesapeake Treasure. I'm Pete Lesher, Chief Curator for the Chesapeake Bay Maritime Museum, and today I'm taking you behind the scenes in the museum's collection storage building, where almost 90% of our objects live, waiting for their next turn to come out on exhibition. And one that's been out on exhibition, although not currently, is this unassuming little model of maybe a skipjack or a skipjack yacht. It's a curious piece, and when I first encountered this, I wondered why it even belonged in the collection. It does have a name. There's a name on the transom, Flirt, but it's kind of crude. It lacks details. It clearly was made for a toy, perhaps even a pond model, in that the bottom, there's a lead strip along the bottom to help it float upright. And, well, it's got a skipjack rig, but the hull is not a working skipjack. So when we were reviewing the collection, as we were actually moving the collections into this storage facility, we considered maybe even removing this from the collections, deaccessioning it. But then we noticed that there was printing on the cradle, which is clearly original to this, that says Balto, short for Baltimore, November 2nd, 1932, built at home by an orphan boy, 83 years old. Well, that rang a bell, because I knew of a local boat builder who also made models in retirement and who referred to himself as an orphan boy. And we have a few letters from him, and his kind of childish scrawl handwriting looks very much like the handwriting on that cradle. And the clincher, well, and we have another model in the collection. We know that he made several of these models in retirement when he went to Baltimore. He was a native of St. Michael's, did most of his work, built 68 log canoes in St. Michael's during his career. And when he retired to Baltimore, he took a few tools with him and wrote some articles for the local paper in which he referred to himself as an orphan boy, saying that all his family was gone by this time. His parents, of course, were gone, but so was his wife, and his children had moved away. And so when he moved to the retirement home, he occupied himself by making small pieces of furniture and boat models in the basement of that home. Here he is with one model of a log canoe that is also in our collection and in fact on exhibit down in the At Play on the Bay exhibition. And the clincher, to be able to identify this, when our collections record said maker unknown, donor unknown, we had no context for this thing. And now we know that it's by this retired boat builder. And the clincher in identifying this boat with Robert D. Landon is the date, November 2nd, 1932, and he says that he's 83 years old. And in fact, he was born on November 2nd, 1849. So this date was his 83rd birthday. This takes us from an object that had little meaning, no context, to one that is a really important example in our collection for what the boat builder does in retirement, and a connection to this most distinguished of St. Michael's boat builders, this modest little canoe, this modest little skipjack yacht, rather, named Flirt. Thank you for joining me today for a Chesapeake Treasure.